Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started at 9:04 a.m. Didn't have the microphone plugged in, so I had to plug that in. Found that out in the 12th hour. So I had to move locations for streaming because we're not streaming, but when I was on a call with Kelly Kellum yesterday, it's gonna be aired Saturday. He's going to release the video Saturday, but we talk more of the same. So, but definitely go check it out tomorrow. He'll be releasing our chat about charts tomorrow on Saturday. So, shout out to Kelly Kellum. He does a great job hosting as always. That's why I always agree to go on his shows, whether it's Crypto Answered or his podcast over there, BitLabs. And I always go over there because he's a great host. There's a lot of hosts that I refuse to go back on because it's run poorly, in my opinion, and I don't have time to waste. So that's that. So if you're new to the channel, awesome, welcome. We'll get the rambling out of the way the first minute. If you're returning, even better, welcome back. And the first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, 3.69% down, $54,107 Bitcoin. What are we looking at? The NASDAQ? Yep. Look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at Bitcoin. And we'll cover Bitcoin. The altcoins continue to bleed. And then we'll look at the indices like the NASDAQ, SP 500, Dow Jones, Russell 2000. And then we'll look at probably the Magnificent Seven. Most likely you're correcting right now as well. The video is down in the pre-market like 2%. So I have to double check, see what NVIDIA is doing now. And then we'll cover any other stocks or crypto assets that kind of jump out at us on the watch list. It's Friday, so we probably won't spend an hour or more. But who knows? Maybe we will. And then the second half of the live stream, make sure early bird gets the worm. Make sure you put in the ticker symbol. Make sure you put in the asset class, whether it's crypto or stock. And we will chart your requests on the second half of the live stream. So stick around and we do it live. So make it easy for me to search it so we can keep the live streaming. So with that, let's jump into it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Martina, hello. Good morning. Welcome back. Oh, excuse me. Sneeze. Good morning. Excuse me. So, am I allergic to work today? Is this work? I don't know. No one pays me for it. No one pays me for the live streams. That's for sure. So, actually, the live streams cost me money. But here we go. I'm not going to ever say, don't worry. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it when they say, without further ado. I'm never going to say it. I hate it. I hate those words. So I'm not going to say that. We will continue. Onward. Buenos dias, Alberto. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. Buenos dias. My accent is not very good. I'll probably mess up. One of the things we always talk about is that I will mispronounce your name. I will mispronounce different languages, my own language even. So hopefully we can make fun of me for doing that and not take offense to it. So with that, all right, let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. What's Bitcoin daily chart doing? It's still bearish on the daily chart. We talked about it. We covered it all the way up here. It was getting overbought. There was bearish divergence. And then throughout this whole time period, we're talking about we're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet. We would like to see a candle close back above 73,100-ish to get out of the woods and go to higher prices. It never happened. And then price has been putting in lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high. Not confirmed yet, but very, very close to confirming another lower high. And then we have longer midterm targets to the downside. And of course, we've been talking about let's move this back down. We've been talking about the RSI sell signal, not only in the daily chart, but the weekly chart back in April 2024, right? So we talked about this, we covered it. The sell signal, it doesn't happen often on the weekly chart, right? So the last one was April 2024. Here we are, price is still dropping, right? Then you go to the 2-week chart. We had the RSI sell signal middle of June and not seen since April 2021. So again, doesn't happen very often. We had a buy signal February 2023, and now it just continues to drop down lower and lower. And what we've been covering is that once it had the RSI sell signal, and RSI went above 85, which it did, and it went to 88, let's call it, round it up. Then price has eventually come back down to the 200-week moving average before seeing another buy signal. So is this time different? I don't know. It's trending downward right now. So we will see. Doesn't mean there couldn't be an epic bounce. Look at the trending dots up here. It doesn't mean it couldn't find support. Like back here, if we look at the targets, right? Doesn't mean it couldn't find support, bounce back up into the trending dots at some point, and then continue down to the 200-week moving average. I don't expect it to go down and hit the 200-week moving average right away. It's always a possibility, but I think that's less likely. I think, I usually expect bounces along the way. So we'll see if it can find support at target 2, or see if it finds support at target 3, or maybe it just goes all the way down to the 200-week moving average. It's possible, right? It's possible. So we'll see what happens, but expecting bounces along the way. You can see if you go back to the last RSI sell signal in April 2021, price came all the way down and then not only bounced into the trending dots, but went up and made a new all-time high. Never had a buy signal on RSI, but still had an epic bounce, right? Still had an epic bounce. So it's possible. It's possible we see something similar. Maybe it doesn't go make a new all-time high, but maybe it comes down, bounces, right? Puts in another lower high, and then comes back down the 200-week moving average. That's a possibility, right? Just making drawings, making stuff up. It's possible it does 2021 again and makes a new all-time high. I think that's less likely. I think it made a new all-time high over here and created bearish divergence because of all the leverage from what was it, 3 arrows, FTX, all that nonsense that was going on. I think that excess leverage pushed it all the way up. It's possible it puts in a lower high like that again. Maybe it hits target 3, and maybe the next lower high on this higher time frame doesn't go as high, right? So maybe it's more of something comes back, bounces back up, so it comes down, bounces back up. So we'll see. But the overall trend is down, right? RSI sell signal on the 2-week chart, not seen since April 2021. 3-week chart, RSI sell signal, I'm pointing it out here, happened on the last candle close, not seen since May 2021. Again, there was still an epic bounce creating bearish divergence. And then, of course, the monthly chart, which is even more lagging. There is other concerns, right? You had a reverse candle November 2021. Price came down to the trending dots. Reverse candle, price came down the trending dots not once, but 2 months in a row. Reverse candle, price came all the way back down the 200-week moving average. Reverse candle, will price come back down the 200-week moving average? Lawrence, good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you back on here, Lawrence. Before we get too deep on this, I forgot. Let's go warm up the trigger finger on the mouse. Help me, help you, help me. Smash that like button. Hit the repost button. YouTubers, they already know what to do. We're live streaming both YouTube and Twitter X app, but the Twitter X app, people need a little bit more help, right? So just a quick like, quick repost, and a quick comment with an emoji or something. It takes 5 seconds. Help me, help you, help me. I would appreciate that. Thank you. And who are we competing against? Oh, Kelly. Speaking of Kelly Kelm, who I was just on his show, and he talks about Saturday, right? He's not going to hear this. Blowing his cover. He talked about Saturday, but we actually recorded it yesterday. So, I don't know. When I do live, I do live. So I'm calling out my guy, my buddy, my cyber buddy, right? Bitcoin strength signals. Kelly. We just talked about this yesterday. And altcoin weakness. Oh, man. Come on, Kelly. Well, anyways, we're beating him on viewership right now. So nothing else matters. So yeah, help me with the algorithms. I appreciate that. Let's rock and roll. Let's get back in on it. We got a lot to cover today as usual. So there's no RSI sell signal on the monthly chart as of yet, but there was already reverse candles at the top, and there's bearish divergence long term, which is interesting because the indicator is picking it up. However, we could see maybe this month or next month, it's possible the way that RSI is trending over here, we could see an RSI sell signal in the near future, either this month or next month. So keeping that as aware, it's a lagging indicator, right? It's a lagging indicator because it's the monthly chart. Everything on the monthly chart is going to be lagging. 3-week chart is lagging compared to, what I watch on the charts. I'm a swing trader, so I'm mostly on the daily chart. But the daily chart, but the weekly, 2-week, 3-week, monthly chart, I look at often because it helps identify overall trend. If the overall trend is down, then I'm shorting the bounces. If the overall trend is up, I'm buying the dip, right? So that's why I look at them so closely, and I look at them every single day to decide what strategy I'm doing to the upside or the downside overall, right? Doesn't mean I won't counter trade. I do counter trade. However, I think it's more profitable longer term, in my opinion. And we talked about this a lot on recorded coaching back in 2022, hours upon hours talking about it. There's a lot of great questions and stuff that George, hello, George. We talked about, trading with the trend, right? Has longer and bigger moves. I would say the one exception to the rule, or can be the one exception to the rule, is counter trading shorter term on options, right? But I don't teach options. I think it's already like 5-6% of all traders are profitable. So if you throw options in it, I doubt 5% are profitable on options unless they're scalping or unless they're day trading, maybe. But counter trading options on shorter time frames could be more profitable strategy because most likely the options are priced cheaper. So, but we're not going to get into all that. That's layers upon layers, and I didn't have the energy to teach people options and then watch them possibly fail and lose money anyways. So I never taught it. I always told them to go to the broker. Tastyworks has free material over there. So I always pushed recorded coaching members over to options over at Tastyworks if they really wanted to go down the rabbit hole. But I don't even trade options full time. I still trade options like I'm in another alert on my phone, alert on the email. I got alerts everywhere for trades. So there we go. Yeah, so I still trade options for fun. I have SPY puts right now, and they're doing pretty good. I posted them earlier. They're up like 116% in a few days, right? So I don't bet the farm. I don't bet the farm whatsoever. I go more all in on futures trading because it's like, at least 10x leverage. But yeah, futures trading. It was Bitcoin 10x leverage and Ethereum 10x leverage 2021, 2022. But then the US started to crack down and it made it harder and harder and harder to trade with leverage. So I started getting more heavily into trading futures in January 2023. I made that announcement. Not that anyone should be copying me whatsoever, but I made that announcement in the Discord January 2023, just because I wanted to let them know that what I'm doing. So there's that. What else? So weekly chart still bearish on Bitcoin, right? Lower highs, lower lows, right? This would be taking out this a weekly candle close below. We talked about it. We covered it. 55,860. We'll put in another lower low on the weekly chart, right? Well below the 61,500 we talked about is like the equilibrium of this move up here. So it's bearish. It's trending back towards target 2 again with that big spike down. And then the probabilities are increasing not only to retest target 2, but the probabilities are increasing that we're going down to target 3, possibly the 200-week moving average, and possibly the 4th target. I don't expect it to all happen at once. Watch out for those black swanners out there. This has been happening in slow motion since March. So if anyone starts calling out black swan event because of X, Y, Z, that's the hindsight crew. They don't take responsibility for their own ability to read the charts. They don't take responsibility for getting caught up in the narratives or the noise. They're the hindsight crew. They tell you what happens afterwards. They're the hindsight crew who call out black swan events. And really, us foresight crew, swing traders, we're calling it out in real time. We're spotting bearish divergences in real time, which is ahead of the pack, right? And that's what we're doing. So every single day. But next week, it's been, September 7th would have been 1 year anniversary of starting the live streams. And I vowed to, I committed to doing 1 year worth of live streams every single day that the market is open, the stock market. And that year is up. And so I'm going to be dropping down to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I got some big projects I want to get started. I finished up a big project, and it's in beta test in the Discord. I don't know if I'll ever roll it out on the website. I accidentally made it too good. But that's all I'm going to say about it. Bitcoin down below 54,000. Breaking news. Dang, son. I don't have a son. I have to say, dang, hun. That's for my daughter. AR7. Was that like AR15? Normally, replay crew, glad to join live. Great content. Thank you. I don't think I do anything special. We just look at the watch list, but I don't have any like gadgets. I don't have any like anything else but just going through the watch list. But I enjoy it so much. I love going through the watch list. And obviously, if you're sticking around and watching a live stream that's unedited, that's unscripted, you obviously enjoy the charts and just going through the watch list as well. And so I enjoy it. I love it. So we're going to be cutting back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday that the stock market is open. Of course, holidays, we wouldn't be doing it. So at least 2 to 3 days per week. We'll see how it goes. If we're not smashing the like button, maybe I'll lose motivation, right? So with that, help me, help you, help me, right? So there we go. Bitcoin, Ethereum, back down to the 200-week moving average, right? It retested it. It hit the 200-week moving average in August. Thank you. The one that's probably even the greatest is the Sharpshooter RSI 2.0. I don't showcase it as much because there's a lot of copycats out there, right? I don't showcase it as much. But RSI Sharpshooter RSI 2.0 spots divergences in real time whereas the free RSI divergence that they added to it is lagging 5 candles. So you could have divergence, and then, for example, let's go back to it. Let's see. This is the Ethereum. Oh, hold on. So, for example, here we go. Recent example. You got bearish divergence picking up on the here. Let's do this. You got bearish divergence picking up on Ethereum, right? Back on June 2024, and then if you it picks it up immediately, right? So the free RSI picks it up 5 candles later. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So on June 2024, when price is all the way crashed, right? Then it picks up bearish divergence. What is the point? That is totally the hindsight crew, right? What is the point? So just keep that in mind, right? So the free RSI finally tells you about the bearish divergence, right? 5 candles later on the daily chart. Now, if we go back up here like this, so the indicator spotting bearish divergence, right, in real time. So the candle closes, and right on upon the start of the new candle on June 6th, it picks up the bearish divergence, spotting it. A lot of times there's a reversal candle at this on that very next candle, which is it's not 100%, but it's a higher probability that the reversal is in when there's bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle. There's a reverse candle back here, but not after the bearish divergence on this one. But just let you know. And then 5 candles later, after price has already dropped down another 8% and had a sell signal, then the bearish divergence goes back and picks that up. That's the free version of RSI 2.0. That's probably number one. I don't know, maybe number one. Close second or 1A, 1B is the overall trend, right? The overall trend of the EMA, buy signal, sell signals, right? Helps identify a trend longer, right? So those are the two main things that I pay attention to and like on the Sharpshooter RSI 2.0. And so equally as important, and that comes with the recorded coaching over there. So with that, Ethereum came back round trip again and retested 200-week moving average. We've been talking about it. Is Ethereum leading the way for Bitcoin to the downside? Will Bitcoin also hit the 200-week moving average? Will the NASDAQ also hit the 200-week moving average? The 200-week moving average for Bitcoin is all the way down here at 30. What is it? 30. I can't barely see it. $38,647.27. Ooh. Perma bulls are going to crush if it does that, right? Forced hodling is not something to brag about. Hodling, okay. If you're a hodler because you chose to hodl in 2016, you chose to hodl in 2012, cool. You have a badge of honor. You've got bragging rights. Awesome, right? You're never going to sell. You're probably not watching this channel, right? You don't care about the swing trading. We don't care about hodling, right? Now, if you're bought in 2021 or later and you became a forced hodler at price was $60,000, right? Price was $70,000. And then you're talking smack over there about swing trading and blah, 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 and all this. It's not a good strategy, right? It's not a good strategy. You can go back to 2021 and if you bought back in 2021 at say $60,000, right? And price is in 2024, 3.5 years later, price is at $54,000. That's not a good investment. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the narratives say. I don't care what the talking heads say. If you became a forced hodler in early 20. A lot of people won't like this. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I call it. I'm going to call it how I see it, right? I'm going to call it how I see it. If you bought anywhere $60,000, right? Let's change this. It's unfortunate, right? Because you get caught up. If you bought anywhere in 2021 at $60,000 and you never sold and took profit or took a small loss and then bought back down here where the market snipers were talking about buying at 16,800 in the Discord, in hindsight, that was near the bottom. It was within 5 to 6% of the bottom, and taking profits at 61,000 back here in 2021 and buying the dip down here in July, then your strategy is not very good because you became a forced hodler at 60,000. You didn't sell. You held through all this pain. You probably didn't hold over. You probably didn't sell over here either because you're barely in profit and you're still listening to the narratives. You're probably still listening to the noise. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. You can't afford to be out of it. You can't afford to lose to the upside. You know, 0.1 Bitcoin will make you retire. You know, you've heard it all, right? You've heard it all. And maybe that'll be true 50 years from now, but I might not have 50 years, right? I'm 45 years old. So I need a swing trade. I want to realize gains. I don't want unrealized gains or unrealized losses 3.5 years later with inflation going through the roof. You have to swim faster than inflation, right? If inflation, even if it's down to 3.2% or whatever they're claiming, I mean, who knows what the real numbers are? And not to get on a rant. Here we are ranting on a Friday. Even if it's 3.2% this year, right? Compared to last year, that doesn't mean the inflation is only 3.2%. That means it's 3.2% on top of what last year was. Say if last year was 4% in 2023. And what if it was 5 or 6% in 2022? And it was like 9% or 7 to 9% in 2021. And then 2020 was 9 to 10% inflation. You're looking at 25%, 20% inflation over the last 4 or 5 years, compounded, right? Total. So you have to swim faster. So if you go back to 2021 and you bought Bitcoin at $60,000, you never sold, and you never bought back lower at 16,800 or $20,000, and you only held it, not only are you down $6,000 if you owned one Bitcoin, but now you're losing to inflation on top of it, right? So inflation, you're down probably 20-25% right now. Even if you bought at $60,000 of Bitcoin and it's only down $6,000 total, you're down versus inflation. So inflation adjusted, I'm not going to get into all that, but it's just a different perspective that I have, and not everyone's cut out to do swing trading. So it is what it is. But if you're hodling since March 2021 and you're down $6,000 and you're losing to inflation, maybe it's better to go hire a professional. And not all professionals are created equal, but maybe you go get a financial advisor to have them manage your money for you, right? Speaking of which, my best friend kept buying Tesla all the way down, and I was telling him it's not a good time to buy. I'm shorting Tesla. This is a couple years ago. He kept losing money. He's retail, right? Has no training whatsoever. He's a CPA and kept losing money. Finally, he just said, okay, I'm going to hire someone to manage it. The first thing they did, they trimmed his Tesla position. Yeah, he's got a really good financial planner. He's rich, right? He's rich. He's kind of rich, right? He's kind of rich. So he's not like $100 million. He's like $10 million. But net worth. So he's kind of rich, right? This day and age. So he hired a really good financial planner, according to him. And the first thing they did, I approved. I thought it was a good idea. They trimmed his Tesla position by 50% right off the bat, right? Right off the bat. They're like, you're overexposed on Tesla. I'm like, no kidding. I'm shorting Tesla, right? As a swing trader. So, anyways, if you can't swing trade and you're down in your hodling position, you probably want to let a professional handle your money, right? That's all I'm going to say. All right. So that was it. Just long rant on a Friday. Let's get back into it. We got a lot to cover over here. Bitcoin still crashing down on the daily chart, back below $54,000 today. And here we go. So let's rock and roll. I do want to look at the altcoins, but we're going to look at them quickly. Retested 200-week moving average on Ethereum. Solana still bearish on the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. Seems like there's a lot of room to the downside on Solana. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. Hopefully, we have some fun along the way making fun of me. Let's go. Sand. Sand. Still bearish on the daily chart, right? Still trying to find bottom over here on the daily chart. Still bullish divergence. Not much else to report. Near. Still trying to find bottom. Filecoin. Still trying to find bottom. If it takes out this wick, I got to take off all these targets and redo them. Woo! Mana, still trying to find bottom. Algorand, still trying to find bottom. Only hit one out of the 4 targets to the upside. Cardano, still trying to find bottom. Has only hit 1 out of 4 targets to the upside. Dot, still trying to find bottom. AVAX, still trying to find bottom. Chainlink, still trying to find bottom. Fetch.ai, still trying to find bottom. Rari, aka Ferrari, running very slowly right now. Still trying to find bottom. Let's switch gears over the NASDAQ futures. Woo! 3 out of the 4 targets been hit so far on the NASDAQ futures. If target 3 or target 4 doesn't find support, which I don't think it does, look at the big arrow down. I'm going to put on my longer term targets to the downside as well. Question mark, will the NASDAQ also retest the 200-week moving average? Very similar to Ethereum. It's possible. We don't know for sure. Down 2.5% today. That is massive for the NASDAQ. And once we start getting into, the VIX is up 17%. Woo-wee. It's bullish on the VIX, right? Everything is lining up with it. The dollar bottom could be in. Someone front ran my targets on the 200-week moving average, right? We talked about it. It was oversold. This could be a higher low. This is a more aggressive downward trend line. This is a less aggressive downward trend line. Let's switch gears over to the Magnificent Seven that has the NASDAQ breaking down. This is not a black swan event. You can blame war. You could blame March 2020. You could blame politics. You could blame whatever you want for not seeing it on the charts, right? Your fundamentals, it's up only, earnings, positive earnings, and they gap it down 20% on you on positive earnings, right? It's not about that. You're not an insider trader. And even if you are an insider trader, I know a CEO who thought their stock, I'm not going to mention any names. It's one of my close buddies' best friend. I've only met him a few times. Was worth $1 billion at one time. He's a little 47 years old, my age, a little bit older than me. CEO thought his own stock was going to $30. He was out. And long story short, they shorted him all the way down to $7, right? So he was sure of that. The CEO was very certain. CEO, founder, owner, majority shareholder, all that stuff, right? True inside share, insider, right? Thought was certain that his stock was going to $30 and went down to $7. So even if you are the insider who knows the fundamentals, who knows everything about your company, there's always a bigger fish on the other end who may or may not like you. Maybe you cross them and double cross them. Maybe, who knows? I have no idea what happened. Maybe you made the wrong bigger fish mad at you, and they shorted their stock despite it being very good. And I'm not going to talk about which one it is because then you can find out who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to do all that. But they shorted him down to $7. And so it doesn't matter if you're an insider trader. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO, the founder, all that stuff. They could still short you down to $7. Positive earnings, all that stuff. That's why I do not care, right? Yeah, I'm aware of it. I am aware of my surroundings. I know what's going on, what could possibly happen with the economy, all that stuff, right? I'm aware of everything. But I trust the charts first and foremost because this is not a black swan event. This happened in slow motion for us. We had bearish divergence. We called it out on the live stream back on July 10th. We called out the reverse candle on July 11th in real time on the live streams. Go back, double check it. I don't delete anything. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, usually right. Not always. I'm usually right, though. Not always. If I was always right, I'd be a billionaire. I'm not. Got a long ways to go, right? I don't know if I'll ever be a billionaire. That just seems too far for me, but I don't know. And I don't have aspirations to be a billionaire. Anyways, but if I do become, I do become. I probably give away too much to become a billionaire. But anyways, so you had a reverse candle. We talked about it. Possible lower high, sell signal. It was getting very wicky down here. We talked about there's some profit taking happening. Then it was oversold, started to reverse back around. On this date, August 5th, we were talking about expect bounces along the way. Looks like there's some profit taking. Could put in a lower high, just very similar to this. Then it started to break back down. I put on here, is this a lower high, right? Then the sell signal, another sell signal, hitting multiple shorter term targets to the downside. And here we are. We're closing in on shorter term target 4. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is because futures is leverage. So that's a big move for futures. And if it takes out this pivot point over here at 17,845, it will confirm the lower high with a lower low, and it will continue to stack probabilities that we're going to go lower, right? Woo! With all that, we're also talking about the daily chart over here, bearish divergence, RSI sell signal, RSI sell signal. Then you go to the weekly chart, bearish divergence long term, another sell signal, possible lower high. Looks like it's going to confirm that lower high. Then you go to the 2-week chart. We talked about it. This is bearish divergence, but it's not getting picked up on the indicator. If we change the settings, probably it could, but there's a lot of similarities to this bearish divergence followed by a sell signal, bearish divergence followed by an RSI sell signal, not seen since 2021, right? Not seen since 2021. Also, bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle, bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle, followed by an RSI sell signal, not seen since 2021. After that happened, price came back down the 200-week moving average. Will price come back down the 200-week moving average? So if the NASDAQ, I talked about this a couple months ago. If the NASDAQ, gotta take a break. If the SP 500, if the Dow Jones, if the Russell 2000 all go back to the 200-week moving average, do you think Bitcoin is different? I don't. I don't think it's different. So it's still considered a high-risk asset. It's not a flight to safety. Maybe one day it will be. Even gold, as seen as a flight to safety, has been around 5,000 years, I think, or something like that. But the difference is, I think it would be a flight to safety if there was never paper gold created. Paper gold is gold futures. There's gold miners. There's gold ETFs that you could trade with leverage, right? Options, all that stuff. Once they created paper gold, it became more of a trading asset than it is a flight to safety, in my own personal opinion. They've also made paper Bitcoin, which is amazing for swing trading. Amazing for swing trading. Thank you, whoever did that. And they continued to make it more of a paper trading asset versus a flight to safety. It's an unpopular thought process, but it is what it is. I came from options trading over to crypto first, so this is the mindset that I have, and thankfully, it's more of a trading asset now because I'm a swing trader. But flight safety, no, it's not. Unfortunately, not. It's a high risk asset still. It's got a lot of leverage attached to it with futures options, which is super high leverage. You got 100x, 50x in other countries. So yeah, there is a high risk asset. I think of it as a tech stock almost, and tech stocks are very volatile as well. And so if Nasdaq goes down the 200-week moving average, I would be surprised if Bitcoin does not also go down the 200-week moving average. So if the Nasdaq goes through a bigger 30% correction, I expect Bitcoin to also go through a bigger correction, which I think Bitcoin would be like to the 200-week moving average, probably 50 to 60%. That's very, 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 very likely, right? So, woo-wee, Nasdaq. Let's get back on the daily chart. Breaking down, just as we've been calling it out every step of the way on the Nasdaq. SP 500, multiple these are shorter term targets. These aren't even the longer term targets. Breaking news, shorter term target 2 has been hit. After the bearish divergence, reverse a candle, lower high, right? Breaking news, if you zoom in here, you can see barely hit target 3. Barely. I don't even want to do it, but I'm going to. 3 targets to the downside so far. How's my SPY puts doing? Might have to log. I don't want to log in. It was 116% after I took the screenshot of the 108. I have 550 SPY. Do I still have it on here? No, I deleted it. My SPY puts are 550 till September 30th. So at some point, probably earlier than I want to, I'll have to close out my SPY puts because with time decay on options, you lose. It goes against you every single day. So the options, if you're doing shorter term options like 30 days or less, those are short term option plays, in my opinion, and not day trading, but swing trading. And it already filled the gap today, filled this gap over here. I laid this out back on September 3rd when I took the short, and you can see where I took it. It was breaking down on the 4-hour chart as well. And I already saw the NASDAQ breaking down. 4-hour chart had a sell signal at 555. That's pretty much it was like a pending sell signal on the 4-hour chart, and the NASDAQ already had a sell signal. So I thought it was lagging the NASDAQ. And then the Dow Jones was lagging the NASDAQ and the SP 500. So I took a futures short on the Dow Jones as well. And that one's doing very good. Obviously not as good as the options, but it's less risk, but it's still risky. It's very close to options risk, but not as risky. And they're both about 30-day contracts on that. So don't copy trade me whatsoever. You're going to lose money. At least 95% of you are probably going to lose money. Let's see what else. Yeah. Yep. Good point. Some of the I've been talking about this for years. Some of the tech stocks have been outperforming Bitcoin to the upside, right? Tesla even outperformed going into like, what was it? 2021. I think it was like 4,000%. And then Nvidia outperformed this last cycle. ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch outperformed Bitcoin to the upside, right? A clothing line since the late 1800s or early 1900s, I'm sure they have other businesses as well, outperformed Bitcoin. So, you just got to be aware of that, right? You got to be aware of that. It's not, I don't know. I'm into Bitcoin, right? I trade Bitcoin. I'm into Bitcoin. But it's not the end all be all. And there are other opportunities out there that outperform Bitcoin for sure. Well, yeah, you could. You definitely could. But whatever you trade, you should be really into it, right? You should be really into it because hyper focus. And I've stayed kind of with Bitcoin more, and I've got into more futures in January 2023. Started to shift more and more over to futures in January 2023 as well because it wasn't as easy to trade Bitcoin with leverage. Ooh, this SPY put is looking good right now. Puts, I should say. Obviously I don't go all in on it, but no, I don't need to. They could probably work fine as targets, but they don't help you with direction, right? You could guess direction. You could probably lean towards one way, but no, I don't do that. The reason why is because I'm not saying that it wouldn't work great for targets. Probably it does, right? But how many things do you need to consult in the heat of the battle? If you're in the heat of the battle and you need to consult 1 million different, I'm being over dramatic. If you need to consult 10 different indicators, you need to consult 10 different targets. You're not going to pull the trigger in real time when you need to, and you're going to be confusing yourself. My man, Alex, killer. Yep. Sniper in the markets for a while now. There we go. Here we are. How are we doing on likes? What are we doing? Oh, 11? Let's refresh. Let's get a little refresh over here. 50 minutes in, 18 likes. Okay, dang. All right, we're doing a little bit better. 807 viewers. We'd like to see 80 likes, right? We'd love to see a 10% clip similar to the YouTubers. Woo-wee. Oh, man. Doing it well. Comment if you know that song. Doing it well. It's an old one. So if you're not old like me, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. So SPY, VIXM, I'm in that one too. This one I'm just in stock. I'm not in the options on. I don't even know if VIXM has options. Probably does, but I'm just in the stock part of it. It's not pumping as hard as the actual VIX. The actual VIX is pretty wild and crazy. But I'm in like the toned down version of the VIX, right? I'm in the toned down version. So the regular VIX is up 18%. I'm just in the regular stock VIX over there, or it's not as volatile for whatever reason. But the VIX, the left a gap open up here at $36. It's bullish on higher time frames as well. So there's that. Let's go back over the Magnificent Seven. This is probably going to be a long one. That's why I put my hat on. Yeah. Many probably shouldn't be trading those just because they're meant to lose, right? You shouldn't be in those for very long, maybe 30 days at the most. Maybe you can push it longer, but experts only. The inverse ETFs, they're usually 3x ETFs that it's usually a losing game, but you can make a lot of money on those. But yeah. But I don't talk about them anymore. I used to talk about them a lot in 2022. You remember you're in the Discord back then. I don't think you're in the Discord anymore. I think you canceled. After 2 years in the Discord, you're out. I think I can't remember, but yeah, you remember. I used to talk about these a lot more in 2021, 2022, but they're high risk, so a lot of people will lose money on them. So I don't talk about them. I still trade them from time to time. Any chances you accept? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I only use Stripe, and Stripe doesn't accept it, I don't think. Nope. Nope. Especially I'm not going to accept ETH or Sol in a bear market, right? I'd have to sell it, and then there'd be fees on top of it. No, no. The yearly package is already at a huge 30% discount. Probably going to remove it. I removed the 290. I removed the yearly discount on this $29 a month. It's not even worth my time, right? It's not worth my time. So yeah, I did away with it on the website. I said I was going to. I'm probably going to go away from the $29 in the near future. I don't know if it'll be by October 1st. I was thinking maybe September 1st, but I only have so much time in the day. But I'm probably gonna limit the opportunities out there. I gotta check something real quick. Yep. Okay. All right. I'm back. I had to check one of my trade alerts. So yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, Charlie. Yeah, it's already at $660, right? So no way. But yeah, no. Stripe doesn't accept crypto yet. I think it's in the works, or they're in beta test maybe. Question is, the dollar and everything is crashing. Wouldn't make sense that oil. I mean, you have to trade each chart. If you, I think you started recorded coaching, right? Once you get through like 60 plus hours of recorded coaching, you're gonna have answers to all this, right? And because what I say time and time again. So once you put the work in, like we did, we put in the work. We put in the work to recorded coaching, 60 plus hours of recorded coaching. You're gonna hear me say, trade the chart individually first and foremost. If you're trading Bitcoin, trade Bitcoin. Yes, you can look at other things like the NASDAQ. Yes, you can look at the dollar. Yes, you can look at the VIX, all that stuff for data, for more information to kind of see, confirm what you're seeing. But you have to trade each chart individually first and foremost, because sometimes they trade alongside each other, right? So you don't want to just make a blanket statement like that. Yeah. Yep, you got it. Yeah, so was this the VIX? Yep. So let's get back on it. Nvidia down 5%. Ultra bearish on the 4-hour chart. Bearish on the daily chart. This gap was already filled. We talked about the bearish divergence. We talked about the lower high. This lower high was confirmed. This lower high is not confirmed yet. Price went parabolic. Price might take the elevator down. You have a gap down here at $69. You have a huge gap at $30. You have the 200-week moving average down here at $37. Price went parabolic since the buy signals down here in January 2023 outperformed Bitcoin to the upside from those buy signals in January 2023. Price went up 800%. Bitcoin did not. So there's another tech stock example that outperformed Bitcoin to the upside, and now it is going down. It's down 5% again today. It was once a $3 trillion asset. It is no longer a $3 trillion asset. Just yesterday, I think it was 2.71 trillion. Now it's I don't know if the math adds up, 2.5 trillion. I think it was 3 trillion dollars. It's losing half a trillion dollars in a matter of more than $500 billion in a matter of a couple of months, right? Probably lost. Let's see. If it was $3 trillion up here, let me know if this was $3 trillion at 131. Oh my goodness. 24%, right? Let's see. 35%, right? Say if it's $3 trillion. What is that? Is that $1 trillion lost in a matter of like a month and a half? It's insane, right? Oh, positive earnings. Yet it went parabolic and now we're going through a correction, right? So could remain positive earnings and still come all the way back down and fill these gaps and hit the 200-week moving average. So trust the charts first and foremost. That's what I do. Not financial advice, but that's what we do. And it is correcting right now hard. Filled this gap already. Come back for a retest, most likely. The weekly chart, pending sell. Ooh, let's move this up here. Pending breaking news, pending sell signal on NVIDIA weekly chart. Ugh. Not seen since. It's been 2 years since we've seen a sell signal on the weekly chart, right? It's going down, right? It's going down. Ugh, sorry. Bearish divergence long term. RSI sell signal. This looks like the lower high. This looks like the lower high. The probabilities are increasing that we're going to go much lower on the video. It may take time to play out. This is a weekly chart. If let's see, 2-week chart, long-term bearish divergence, RSI sell signal looks just like the NASDAQ, right? Reversal candle, just like the NASDAQ after bearish divergence, possible lower high. Could be a candle close below the trailing dots. And last time there was long-term bearish divergence followed by RSI sell signal. Price came back down the 200-week moving average. It's very, very extended away from the 200-week moving average. Has not been retested since for almost 2 years. So price is going down in the video. We've been talking about it. We've been covering it all the way down, right? All the way down. Meta, another pending sell signal over there. Got a gap down here. This gap. Oh, that's an old gap. Let me take that off. We at an we're at an hour. Oh man, we're at an hour. Gotta flip the hat on backwards. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, we're going into overtime. Put your game face on. Football, American football is back finally. What a great game it was to kick off. I do have a complaint though. The baby was just being too loud. I love that she was either in football or trying to distract us. Meta's breaking down pending sell signal on the daily chart. But she was being too loud, and we are trying to like give her put her back into nap mode. So I couldn't increase the game. But she better be quieter for the Vikings on Sunday, right? She better be. No, she can be loud during the game. That's fine. Because I'm going to be loud during the game. I talk very loud. Of course I do. Of course I do. I pick and choose. I don't bet on all of these, right? I don't bet on all of them. Right now, I have SPY puts. I have I have why am I blanking? Dow Jones futures bearish contracts, right? So there's that. Yeah, but I don't like to have too many trades. I don't feel good having more than 2 to 3 major trades going on at once. I have a gold futures trade on as well. It's a shorter time frame though. But yeah. No, I don't bet. It's crazy. I'm not a gambler, right? I'm not a gambler. Oh, I love that movie. What was it? I can't remember. That movie came out a couple years ago with the firefighter and the comedian. I'm not a gambler. I'm a day trader, right? It's so hilarious, right? Came out a couple years ago. It was so perfect if you're a swing trader. No, I don't gamble. I actually don't gamble whatsoever. I actually hate gambling. We play fantasy football. I'm the commissioner of my family friends league, and in fantasy football, we just conducted our 18th live draft in Arizona. We traveled back for that. And so, yeah, we do put up $75 for the entire year. That's the only thing I do. I don't gamble whatsoever. I've played for fun. I'll play craps here and there because it's like one of the better odds, and I know how to play craps. So I play the higher odds on craps because it's kind of fun. If you get a hot roller and the odds are better. I play the more conservative odds, like the 6 and the 8 point. But I don't play like the 10 to 1 or anything. If I'm making money on the 6 to 8 on the craps, then I'll move some of the winnings over to the 10 to 1 and see if I can hit some of that. But I like to walk away with earnings too. So you get a hot roller and you're up like 300%. I walk away. I have no problem walking away with that. But again, I'm not a gambler whatsoever. So I do take risks. I'm a calculated risk taker. I just don't see myself as a gambler, and I definitely don't gamble on sports or anything like that. So fantasy football is all I do for money, but it's such a little amount. Actually, even when I've won 5 championships and I've lost 4 championships, and I've only missed the playoffs 3 times in 18 years in my league. And even though all those earnings, I put all the money back into the league with trophies. I buy pizza, I buy beer for the family and friends on the live draft, traveling to Arizona. Basically, I have to win every year to break even, or no, second place every year or better to break even. So 9 years I've broken even. 5 years I've made money, I guess. And then the other years I've lost money, even if it's third and fourth place and in the money. I still lost money because I put it back into the league. I love it. I love it. So I've been doing it for a long time. And so anyways, here we go. Let's get back into it. Oh my God. I'm already hour and 5 minutes into it. Amazon has another pending sell signal over here. I don't know. This gap was filled up here. Where's this gap? Is it old gap? I don't know. Let's take this one off. Yeah, it was already filled, right? It's an old gap over here. All right. So breaking back down. This is a bull trap. Microsoft breaking back down, right? We talked about it down here. Profit taking, oversold, bouncing, and then now it's breaking back down on Microsoft. All the Magnificent Seven, right? Tesla never filled this gap as of yet. We'll see if it does. Does have a bearish engulfing candle. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see, but it did get rejected off the 200-week moving average as of right now. Let's take that off for a second, just so you can kind of see, right? And then go like that. You can see the bearish engulfing candle over here. I don't teach anything about candlestick patterns whatsoever. I'm aware of them, especially like a bearish or a bullish engulfing candle, but my strategy is not built off of it whatsoever. But I like to be aware of it. Tesla, Apple, you probably could build a strategy off of it. Apple, and looks like another bearish engulfing candle over here. Google getting oversold on the daily chart, aka ultra bearish, and can remain that way. You have a gap at 144 on Google. We already covered SPY. Woo-wee. This is higher now. I already covered that. Could be a bullish engulfing candle on the VIX-10. QQQ almost hitting all 4 shorter term target take profits over there. And then this is just the NASDAQ Composite Index just falling out the bottom. DJI, Dow Jones Industrial Average, got a gap here. I like to look at several of them just because some of them have gaps, some of them do not. There it is. So with that, setting the stage, you already know the Bitcoin miners are getting crushed. High risk assets are getting crushed. It's been a caution. Even PayPal, probably, we're talking about short-term pullback this whole entire week, right? There was bearish divergence. We talked about that. We talked about possible lower high. Now we have a RSI pending sell signal. Probably soon to have a RSI sell signal. We talked about way back in here that we could probably get a retracement. Now, longer term, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on PayPal longer term, right? But expecting pullbacks along the way, especially on these tech stocks, right? It's caution, caution, caution in the shorter term. Did you bring up SOX? Yes. Yes, yes. Yep. It had the buy signal back on the third, which is very similar to the breakdown. Instead of doing this, me personally, I just preferred to for me personally, I prefer shorting with futures or options on the higher ETFs. Me personally, by buying puts and stuff like that. But yeah, you could buy stock with this. You could probably, I don't know, maybe do options on it. But that would be leverage on top of leverage because this is a 3x bear ETF. So yeah, it had a buy signal on the third, and looks like a higher low. How high will it go? Okay. Yep. Got it. What else? What else? What else? That's about it. Let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? What else? SQQQ. Also, this is the inverse QQQ ETF, which is the Nasdaq version of it. So there's different inverse ETFs that you could be playing to the upside. But again, a lot of those already had buy signals on the third, and so I was already getting positioned in back early on in this candle on September 3rd. So now it's kind of chasing the market. It's possibly still early if it's going to be a bigger move. These are old. You can see it's usually down only, and it's been down only. At some point, this could be a higher low. Some point, it could retest the 200-week moving average. That's a massive move to the upside. It is possible, but you'd probably want to be playing it on a shorter time frame and be more stick and move in and out. Stick and move like a boxer, in and out. Rivian, maybe it fills that gap. We'll see what happens, right? And then, of course, arrow down from there. Had the bullish divergence, came up, hit 4 out of 4 targets to the upside, and it's been pretty much bearish ever since. So we'll see what happens on Rivian. I think that's about it. Yeah, all the Bitcoin mining stocks continue to get hammered, right? That's about it. Natural gas had a buy signal yesterday. You have a gap up here, $22 still. Let's see. I haven't checked in on this one for a bit. This would probably be a really aggressive downward breakout, right? And then a buy signal. So starting to trend upwards on UNG. This is the United States Natural Gas Fund. So it tracks natural gas futures somewhat, right? And it's bullish on the natural gas futures as well. So with that, I think this. What do you think on CFDs instead of futures and all that? I don't. I just stick to futures. I don't have an opinion on it. But the futures, I got into the futures more so January 2023, and I've gone because it's leverage as well, and you can do Bitcoin and Ethereum leverage. So I got more into the futures with, and then of course Nasdaq, Dow Jones, SP 500, Russell 2000, and natural gas. I haven't really traded anything else besides those. Natural gas. I haven't traded like cocoa or corn or wheat or anything like that. Palladium. I've looked at them. I haven't traded any of them. There's only so much, and I want to be into it. So that's that. Natural gas, I've traded on futures. I haven't traded with CFDS. I like to be more hyper focused, so I don't even really do, like, I'll do the options for fun, but I don't put the big bag over there on the options. I put the bigger bag on futures, right? Futures. So I feel like it's less risk. Yeah, there's contracts, but there's not time decay, right? So you're racing against the clock, and there's so much manipulation on options that you better be in and out, right? You better be able to know how to take profit. Otherwise, you will lose money. So with that, I think we're going to call it here. Let's take one quick glance back at what we're looking at. No, not much of a change on Bitcoin from what we covered. NASDAQ closing in on target 4, target 3, Dow Jones, Russell. Yep. Bitcoin futures, Ethereum futures. At some point, we'd like to see it fill that gap. When, we don't know. It's getting ultra bearish on the daily chart now. What happened? Oh, Ethereum doesn't have a 200-week moving average yet. The regular Ethereum does. Back below, now it's below the 200-week moving average. That's not good if you're a long-term investor. You don't like to see that. Yep. Monthly chart, back to pending buy signal, back above the 200-week moving average. It was a pending buy signal early in August, and then it spiked to $65, created a gap at $32. Woo-wee! Hour and 14 minutes. How are we doing on likes? I would be happy to keep going if we got like 50 likes. I don't know if I can handle it. The nanny's coming at 10:30. Because I'm gonna go to the pool. Maybe. I don't know. I got a lot of other things to do. I don't know if I'll have time. Maybe I'll go to the pool like early afternoon. 19 likes. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay on here. Nope, not for 18 likes. One of them is me. Okay. 25K. Okay. Yep. Okay. What else? That's about it. I think we're gonna call it here. Thanks everyone who did smash the like. Thank you to everyone who did repost and throw an emoji and shared the YouTube and all that stuff. Thank you for all of your support. Discord members, all that stuff. Longtime Twitter followers, newsletter members. I haven't posted a newsletter since Crypto Stu quit. He was doing it for free anyways. Lawrence, thank you so much. You're welcome. So I plan to start doing the newsletters again. It's free. I'm paying for a subscription to Beehive to do newsletters, so I don't want to waste money. So I plan to do it. I just haven't had time to do it. But maybe with cutting back on the live streams, I'll have more time. But I have another big project I want to get started end of 2024. By end of 2024, it's going to take a lot of brain power, a lot of energy, but could be awesome. So we'll see. Got to build it out. With that, have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Get outside, go to the pool, go hiking if it's not too hot. Like if you're in Arizona, it's probably way too hot. Go to the beach, right? Go to the lake, go to the river, get outside, do your thing. We take the baby out on walks every single day, not for very long because it's kind of warm. It's a little warm. So have a good day. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you on the next live stream.